So we start the training about Sundary's solutions and now Sundary's selling points. So first introduction about a quick introduction about Sundray. Uh, so Sundray was started in the year of 2014, and through 2 years development, we made the number 3 market share in China market, and also we are expanding to the overseas market. So you can see from the first year we number 5, and to the 2016 the quarter 4 we made the number 3 market. So we are growing very fast in the market. Also, we can see the growth from the revenue. The first year we met $11 million, and this year estimated sales revenue is around $80 million. So it's around 8 times growth. Until now, we have more than 30,000 successful customers all over the world, and also we have more than 900 partners, including the domestic and the Chinese market, and also overseas market. So the territorial area we have also in Europe, like UK and New Zealand, and also in Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and also like areas like Australia. So our steps have already across the world. Also, Sundray is a technology-oriented company, so almost half of our employees are R&Ds. So totally we have around 500 employees, and around 230 are R&D teams. And we have around 38 branches in China, also 20 distributors all over the world. So this is Sundary's teams. So next we go through Sundary's products. So talking about Wi-Fi, so the first thing we offer is the access points. So for now we have mainly 2 types of outdoor access point. The first one is S900 Plus. So this one is outdoor 11 AC dual band access point with maximum throughput, maximum rate is around 175 gigabits, and this one is 3 streams. And also for Sundary's access point for dual band, maximum concurrent access user is around 128, and for dual band is 256. Also, this one is IP67 certified for outdoor scenarios. Can be working in minus 40 to positive 70 degrees. So we can this access point can work in most of kind of scenarios. Also, this access point have a building with a directional antenna, so we don't need to connect into the external antenna for coverage. And also this access point support the external antenna, so we can use the external directional antenna or we can use the external directional antenna and also the OMI antenna for coverage. And also we have the point-to-point bridge antenna for building the wireless bridge. We have been done a case of using this S900 Plus in the distance around 7 kilometers, and in the throughput about 130 megabytes. And so this access point we have we have 2 Ethernet ports and also 1 SFP port for fiber connections. And also this access point support power supply by PoE injector or PoE switch, or we support to powered by 220 volt AC power supply. So for all of Sundary's access point, we can be working in controller base or as a standalone AP. So it's integrated with speed and fast mode. The second outdoor access point is 900 Pro. So 900 Pro is similar outlook as the 900 Plus. So there are 2 types of S900 Pro. So one is building with directional antenna, and the other one is using external antenna. So the external antenna we can use for the point-to-point bridge. This one also have the fiber. It has SFP port for fiber connections, and also this one is IP67 certified. So the difference between the 900 Plus and Pro is that Pro Plus is 3 MIMO, but Pro is you want the so Plus is 3 MIMO, but Pro is only 2, multiplies 2 MIMO. And the power supply, the Pro support PoE inductors, but the Pro support both PoE and AC power supply. So this is the difference between Plus and Pro. And we have two types of Pro. 900 Pro is one is a building with directional antenna, and the other one is using external antenna. And also we have in the past we have S800 and 900, but that one we need to the accessories like lightning arresters for the RF ports. But these 900 Plus and Pro already building with lightning arresters. And so this is two types of outdoor access point. And next we go to the outdoor. So the first access point in outdoor is S560. So this one is our Sundray high-end Wave 2 access point. So it supports 4 multiplies 4 MIMO, 11 AC Wave 2 access point, and the maximum rate can be 2.5 gigabit. And also this one have 2 Ethernet port and 1 SFP port for fiber connections. But we need to plug in with SFP module for fiber connections. And also this access point has been building with a beacon module. So for the beacon, Sundray do not supply the beacons application solutions. We only the access point building with we offer the beacon module but not the application. So we support to be integrated with third-party the beacon solutions like applications. So this is S560. And so next one is S370. So this is also an indoor Web 2 access point. So this one is a 2 multiplies 2 MIMO, 11 AC Web 2 access point. The maximum rate is 1.2 260 megabyte. And this has this access point and 1 Ethernet port and also 1 USB port. So for Sundray's access point, if the AP have 1 USB port, we can use this USB port to plug in with a USB drive, and we can cast the applications or the specified file types into the USB drive. So this is how we can use with this USB port. So next one is because there were some partners, they already sell Sundray, they know Sundray. In the past we sell S600, but this is a new version, upgrade version about 600, so we call it 650. So the wireless specification is similar as 600, so it's 3 streams, and the hash rate is 1.75 gigabit. And in the past, the 600 only have 1 Ethernet port, gigabit Ethernet port, but this 650 have 2 Ethernet ports. And also, this 650 has the built-in iBeacon module and the support PoE power supply and also local power adapters power supply. So this is 650. So normally for most of the projects we will propose 650 because this is the best practice for the high density or the off-facing scenarios. We suggest to 11A. Most of the customer they want 11 AC products and with 3 streams. So this is most cost-effective and best solution for most of the scenarios. And the second is also in indoor 11 AC access point this is S500, and this is the most popular access point from Sundray. We sell the most access point in this model. So this one is 11 AC particle AP with the maximum rate is 1.16 gigabyte, and building with smart antenna, and the maximum concurrent user is 256, and the power supply support PoE, and also the local adapters. So during the training, if you have any questions, you can raise, or you can put in the chat room. Okay. So next one is the S400. So 400 is the BGM protocol AP with 2 streams and building with smart antenna, and also for the indoor access point, S500 is the only indoor ceiling mounting access point that support external antenna. So if there is any projects the customer need external antenna, or some like the stadiums or the conference halls, we have to use the directional antenna. For indoor access point, we have to use the S500. This is one is for deployment. So this is the entry level access point for BGM protocol AP, and this one has a gigabit uplink port, and support PoE and the local adapters, power supply. So this is 400. So 300 is only single band access point. So the maximum rate is 300 megabyte, and the maximum concurrent user 128. So both support fit and fat mode. So for Sundary's access point, if we want to change from fit to fat, we just need to change it, log into the AP interface, and click the button to change to fat mode. So it's very easy. We don't need to run another firmware for changing from fit to fat. And also from changing from fat to fit, we just need to put the controller's IP into the AP interface. So it's very convenient for switching the AP rows. Also, we have some scenario-based access point. The first one is the 4G to Wi-Fi access point. So this one, because we all know we know that there is more and more Wi-Fi providers. They are providing free Wi-Fi, but they are selling the advertisement or to the customers, so they can deploy the Wi-Fi on the trains, on the taxi, or on the buses. So this is why we designed this access point. So this AP is 11AC protocol AP with 2 streams. Maximum rate is 1.16 gigabit rate throughput, and the maximum concurrent user 256. And also we have 2 4G antenna and one GPS module, so we can know where's the car is, or where's the train is from the controller. So we can display the GPS location information on the interface. Also, 1 SIM card and 1 SD card, maximum 60 gigabyte space. So this is a 4G to Wi-Fi access point. We call this a mobile AP. So it's for the scenarios like when we need to deploy the Wi-Fi on the trains, buses, we need to propose this access point. And the second AP is the S500 ST. So for ST refers to the smoke detector. So we can see this is based on the S500. We have add one smoke detector on the AP. So you can see here is a smoke detector. So the wireless specification is same as S500. So how we use this access point is when because there is smoke detect here. So if there is 5 disasters in the area, we will give alarm on the controller, and also there is LED light will be flashing, and also building this access point there is a beeper. It will give some noise. They will give alarm when there is the smoke. So this is a smoke detector. And the second AP is the S500 broadcaster. the BC. So the BC is that we call this a broadcaster. So you can see there was speaker behind the access point. So this is also based on S500. We designed this AP. So the wireless specification is same as S500. So where we deploy this AP is that in the schools, when the class get on and get off, we can set when to broadcast the audio in this access point. Also, we can upload the audio into the controllers. The second scenario we can deploy these APs at in the shopping malls. So in the malls, in the past we can use the traditional web page or SMS or WeChat for the advertisement push. But now we have this broadcast speaker AP, so we can do the marketing using the AP instead of the traditional web page or the SMS WeChat. So this is the speaker AP. So we have some entry-level AP. This one is S220. So this one the specification is similar as S300, but the main difference is that this one is with uplink port is 100 megabit. It's not the gigabit uplink port. So this is a difference. So if there is some project the customer have less budget, so we can propose this S220. And also we have two special design access point for the scenarios like the school dormitories or the hotel rooms. Because the rooms are not very big and they are close to each other, so we can use this access point to cover each AP to cover one room, and also maybe one AP to cover two nearby rooms. So this is the S200. This is the BGM AP with only single band and with 2 streams. The maximum concurrent user for this access point is 60, because in the hotel rooms or in the school dormitories we don't need too much high performance. Do not need to support that max of number of clients. So 60 is enough for these scenarios. So this access point support the PoE power supply and offers 2. You can see in the front there is 2 Ethernet ports and 1 RJ11 ports for telephone connections. So in the back there is 1 punch-through line port for connecting to this RJ11 port, and there is 1 Ethernet port for power supply this access point. So we support to customize the panel color for this access point. And because there are some hotels, they have the decoration style, so we need to the customer need the access point to be the same style as their decoration. So we support to customize the panel color for the access point. The second in-wall access point is we call the S350. So this is a higher end in-wall access point. Also, this one is standard 86 design. We can deploy this AP in just replacing the power socket in the wall. And so this access point have 3 the downlink Ethernet port and also 1 RJ11 port. So for phone connections. So this Ethernet port we can connect into the IP phones or the other wired devices. So this is the S350. And also we have some newly designed access point. The first one is S170. So this is the cost-effective Wave 2 access point. So we have 2 multiplies 2 MIMO with 2 streams. And with 11AC Wave 2, the highest rate is 1.70 16 gigabit, and the building with a smart antenna. Also, this one have 2 100 megabit Ethernet ports for uplink. So these 2 ports we can use one port for uplink, and the other port we can use for the PoE power backup So if one of the once the PoE goes failure, so the other port can back up for the PoE support power supply. And also this one has one USB port. So this is the price we can compare with other. I think you have the price list. You can compare with other like S500 and also the other access point. So this is the competitive in the price access point in Web 2. Also, we have just now we introduced the S500, S350, the inward access point, the panel AP. Also, we have designed another S350 Pro AP. This is the difference between these two APs are this AP is sorry. So the difference between these two APs is that this S350 Pro is Web 2, but the S350 is only 11AC Web 1 access point. So so we are in the roadmap. We are developing the outdoor Web 2 access point, and also in the panels we are more and more Web 2 access point, because nowadays more and more customers they want Web 2 protocol APs. So this is the future. So in the future we have more and more Web 2 access point coming. This AP we call this smart AP. So this is a new solution. So in the past we when we activate the AP, we have to connect the AP and activate on the controller, and then put in the group, and then if the AP goes down, when we replace another AP, we have to do the same steps again. But now we have a new solution for these scenarios. If this AP, so here we call this one as smart APs. This device is like a switch. Actually, it is based on a switch. We did some customization, so we call this smart AP. So the AP configuration, in the past, the AP configuration is just set up on the AP. There was nothing to do with the PoE switch. But now we put the AP configuration into the port of this switch. So whenever you put another AP into this port, so when this AP goes down, you put another plug in another AP, it will automatically work online. You don't need to set up the AP again. So this is why we call this one is a smart AP. So because this is based on the PoE switch, we did some customization. So it's similar with the PoE switch. With downlink, we have 24 GE ports, gigabit Ethernet ports, and also the uplink we support the 4 SFP or SFP plus ports. So this is the physical specification. And the PoE output, it's we support 400 watt for both PoE and PoE plus power supply. So this the advantage of this smart AP is that for maintenance, it is very easy for maintenance. If this AP goes down, we don't need to do any configurations. We just need to plug out and plug in a new AP into this smart AP. So this is the new smart AP module. And because in the double solution, we have to provide the PoE, the power supply. So we also supply 2 types of PoE switch. The first one is a layer 2. Both of them are layer 2. The first one is the 8-port simple layer 2 unmanageable PoE switch, and the second one is the 24 ports. It's the manageable PoE switch with 1 SFP port. We can use 4 fiber connections. So this is 2 types of PoE switch. Because Sundry, our main work are on the AP and controller, but the PoE switch we mainly propose these two types. But if the customer they want aggregation layer switch or layer 3 switch, we also have that. If you have the requirement, you can talk to us, so we can provide the PoE switch. But mainly we propose these two types of PoE switch. So next we go to the controllers. So the controllers, this is Outlook. We have the console port, USB port, and the Ethernet port, and the fiber optical port. And so this USB port for now we can use for the reset the password. So this is now we can use the USB port. So this is a specification about the controllers. So we have 9 types of hardware controllers, from the entry level to the high SDN one. So for every type of the hardware controller, we will building with a free AP license. So you can see that the entry level 12010i we have 8 free AP licenses. It means that if the customer want to buy 10 AP, so already have a building with 8 free AP license. So the customer only need to buy 2 AP license for managing all of the 10 access points. So you can see the highest end one we have a building with 128 access point. So because we have 2 deployment mode, one is tunnel mode, one is bridge mode. So because tunnel mode, we have to tunnel back all the traffic to the controller, and so it will take more computing resources of the controllers. It support less access point than the bridge mode. So you can see in the an AC210i in tunnel mode we support 72 access point, but in bridge mode we support 600 access point. So you can see the highest end one we support more than 4,000 and in tunnel mode, and 12,000 in bridge mode. So for the largest case we have been done is the China Merchants Bank. We're using 2 NAC 360 deploy in the headquarters and managing all the access point, all the 8,000 access point across the 1,500 branches all over China. So this is highest end one. So like the project, like the wireless cities, we can use the 300 series to manage all the access points. And because our controller can be a centralized manager, all of these access controller can be a centralized manager, and also can be the client. So when the controller serves as a central manager, it supports different numbers of the client controllers. So the entry level one support 10 branches. The highest end one we support 4,000 branches. So you can see we have different level of controllers to meet up different level of network. Apart from the hardware controller, we have the virtual controller also. So the virtual controller can be deployed on have to be deployed on the virtualized platforms like the VMware workstation. This is for PC. If the customer have not too much access point and not too much traffic, we can use the VMware workstation running on the PC. Also, if the customer have and they already deployed their VMware ESXi platforms, we can directly deploy the virtual controller on their virtualized platforms. So based on different computing resources like CPU and RAM, we support different level of access point, different number of access points. So you can see the entry level with 2 virtual CPU and 2 GB RAM, we support 300 access point and for 6,000 users. So this is the specification of virtual controllers. So the virtual controller, by default, it will have 2 free AP license. So the other APs need to buy the additional license. So this is, you need to know this for the virtual controller. And for the virtual controller, if we have any project need POC, or you want to show the configuration to the interface with customers, you can apply from Sundry, that we will offer you with the demo license, so you can do the POC with the virtual controller. Apart from the hardware, normal controller and the virtual controller, we have one type. We call this is a small controller. So this is the for the scenarios like the small offices, like they have just a couple of rooms, or in the luxury houses. So there is a 3 living room, one there is maybe 3 or 4 rooms. So this is we call this one is a small controller. So it do not have additional value added features. So this is basically for the coverage. So this controller, when we deploy AP, it also, just like the smart AP we introduced, we can just plug in and play. So do not need additional configuration into this controller. So this controller, we have one WAN port for connecting to the internet. So when there is a ISP provide you with internet cable, so you can plug into this WAN port. And also we have 4 LAN ports. So this is a 100 megabit Ethernet port for downlink. And the power input, this device support DC power supply, and output support both AT and AF power supply. But the maximum power PoE output is 55 watt, and there is also one reset button. So this is we call this small office, home office controller for the small office, for the luxury homes. So this small controller we support maximum to manage, because there is only 4 LAN port here. So by default we can connect for like S200 to, but you have to calculate in the siting guide we have the calculation about the maximum access point support for each type of Sundry AP. But so you have to calculate the PoE output, whether it's enough for the power supply of the access point. So for S200 we can support 4 S200, but for the others, maybe like S650, we have to plug in with the PoE switch, and then maybe we can plug in with the PoE injector. So then we power supply the other models of the AP. So these controllers support all Sundry AP, and maximum with this controller support 20 AP without any additional license. So, but this controller is only for the coverage without any additional value added features. So if the customer, they say that I just want coverage, so one solution is that we can propose the fat AP. So I think you have been going through some customer, they just want the fat AP. So but for fat APs, the problem is for maintenance. We have to log into every AP for the configuration for the setup. But for this small controller, because this is the controller, this configuration is plug and play. So we just need to configure on the controller for once. So the AP just need to plug into this small controller. Do not need additional configuration to the AP. So this is the main advantage comparing to we offer the fat AP. So also this small controller price is also competitive comparing to the hardware, the normal hardware controllers. So if the customer, they just need the coverage, they say they don't want any additional value added features, so we can propose this small controller. Okay. So this is the first part about the introduction about Sundry products. Do you have any question about the products? So if you have any question, you can unmute your microphone, or you can type in the chat room. Hello, hello.
No, pues I'm good.
Okay. Entiendo. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we will continue. Go to the second part is about the features. So talking about the Dublin solution, I think you have already have some knowledge about the Wi-Fi solutions. So most of the vendors, they are offering the coverage only. They say that we can cover how many distance, but what Sundry do is that we don't provide only for coverage. We offer the Wi-Fi solution with value added features. So apart from the coverage, we offer the security solution. We have the basic firewall features, and we have the built-in VPN, both standard IPsec VPN. Also, we have our own VPN protocol, Sundry VPN. And also, our controller can do the internet access management to block applications or do the bandwidth management for the devices and also the application based. So the most advantage feature about Sundry is that we can do the advertisement push, the ads push, and also the big data analyze. So this is these two the big data analyze and the advertisement push is the most advantage features from Sundry. So based on this all-in-one design, so all of these advanced features we have all being integrated into our controller. So the customer only needs to buy the access point and the controller to achieve all of these advanced features. So based on this all-in-one design, we can offer a customer with a faster, safer, more manageable, and more value-added Dublin solution. So next we are going to show you in each part about the features. The first part is about faster. So for Sundry, we support the seamless roaming both in layer 2 and layer 3. So when we deploy the network, the customer always they care about the roaming efficiency. So we support both in layer 2 and layer 3. And also in different branches, if one customer, they have once been authenticated in the one branch, next time we go to another branch, it will automatically be connected to the Wi-Fi, the SSID without a second time authentication. And also we can set the policy whether the client need to authenticate or not, because some customer they want their client to see the landing page, because this is it's also one type of the advertisement. So this is the seamless roaming. And second is the key application bandwidth guarantee. So because we have a lot of users in this network, maybe someone are download or someone will running P2P download, someone running the online stream video, so it will take a lot of the bandwidth in the network. So what we can do is that we know that in the network there is some applications like the officing application, like email system, office system, or other very important systems. They need the guaranteed internet access. So what Sundry can do is that we can guarantee the key application like the email system. We can set the channel, specified channel. For example, we set the channel for 10 megabyte. So this 10 megabyte cannot be affected by all the other applications like P2P download, like online video stream. So it will not be affected. So this is what we call the guaranteed channel. So when we set the guarantee the channel, because in the network there is some idle period and peak period is like the rush period. All the users are using the network. But for example, the after working hours, there was less people using the network. So because we set the guarantee channel, so for example, the total network have 20 megabyte. We set the 10 megabyte for the email. So because there is not too much people using the email now, so we can set when the network maybe after working hours, we can set this guaranteed channel a dynamic one. So if there is not too much traffic, we can make the other applications can use the guaranteed bandwidth. So this is what we call the dynamic traffic control. That means the dynamic flow control to increase the bandwidth utilization. The second, how we guarantee the network is the disaster recovery for controllers. So the first one is the controller 1+1 active standby backup. So our controllers can only be deployed active standby. So this is this is for the scenarios like the headquarters and branches. So in the headquarters, we can deploy 2 controllers. One is active and one is standby. So in the branches, in the big branches, we can deploy 1 branch controller. So this controller will manage all the branch AP. So as we just introduced, our controller can be a centralized manager, and also this branch controller can be a client. So if the client controller in the branch goes down, the AP will automatically be taken over by the headquarter controller. So this is the centralized management. Also, we call this N+1 remote backup. And also, there were some customers, they are wondering if, for example, if the network there is the controller, maybe both of them goes down, maybe power failure. So they want to deploy 1 controller in another remote site. So we can put a remote site controller maybe in another district. So so this kind of backup, we have to manually synchronize the configuration to the remote controller. It's not automatically synchronized, but this active standby it's already automatically synchronized. So this is for the controller disaster recovery. And second is that we also have the disaster recovery policy for if the controller goes down, all the controllers cannot the APs cannot connect to all of the controllers. Also, maybe the customer, they have their own authentication servers like the AD or radio server for authentication. If the authentication servers goes down, how can we do that? So what we do is that, for example, the controller goes down in the network, the APs cannot reach to the controller. So we can set the disaster recovery policy into the AP. If the AP disconnects with the controller, the AP will broadcast the the backup SSID. But this backup SSID can only be open and PSK. Because there is no controller, we cannot do the port authentication, or also if the authentication server goes down, like AD or radio server goes down, the AP will give out the backup SSID. But if the AP disconnect, the connected users will keep the connection, but the new users can connect through the backup SSID. What we said, we have the AP will broadcast the SSID with the open or PSK authentication. So this is for the disaster recovery for if the AP disconnects with the controller, or the controller disconnects with the authentication server. So this is how we guarantee the network. And second is that how we speed up network is that we can catch the file and the app into the controller and also the access point. For example, the application like Facebook, if the Facebook got a new version of the app, so everyone would go to the App Store or the Android market to download this app. So if all the people download at the same time, we will take a lot of bandwidth in the of the internet. So what we do is that we can cast the first download. We go to internet, and then we will cast this application in the controller. And the later download, we just go to the controller to fetch this application file. And also for the remote deployment or the branch deployment, if there for example the branch, there is only one access point there. So as we introduce some models have the like Astra 100 170 or 650, we have the USB port, so we can plug in one USB drive into this access point. So we can cast this application also in this access point. So apart from casting the controller, we can also catch in the access point with one USB drive connected to the access point. Apart from the app, we can cast the specified file type into the controller or the access point. For example, the RAR, the file, or the doc or the Excel file, we can all catch in the controller or the access point. So in this way, we will speed up the network. So next, the solution is about the zero roaming solution. So the customers like the hospitals or the medical centers, they have some devices, they have very high requirement about the roaming. So even the fast roaming, we have some packet, 1 or 2 packet loss in the when the device is roaming in the network. So what we can do is that we call this zero roaming solution. For example, in this area, there are 4 access points deployed. So in the past, we will set up the SSID name. For example, we set up the SSID name as Sundray. But actually, in every separate AP, the BSSID is different. The BSSID is binding as we set up on the AP. So the device will detect 4 access points in this area because the BSSID name address is different. So when the device is moving, it will disconnect from the first device and then go to another access point. Will negotiate with another AP. So this is what we call the roaming. So, but what Sundry do is that we make the AP in the same channel, working in the same channel, and AP in the same BSSID. So from the device perspective, the device can only detect one BSSID, and so this device will think that there is only one AP here. So the device will not start the roaming. So this is how we solve the roaming efficiency problem. But in the switch, the controller will decide which access point to send package to this device. So this is when this device. So we make this 4 access point in the virtual AP. We make this in a virtual AP group, and the SSID name is Sundray, and all of the APs are in same BSSID. So and also working in the same channel. So when the device is working, the device will send that there is only one AP here. So the device will not start the roaming. So this is what we call this solution is a zero roaming solution. But this is for the customer. They have a very high requirement for the for roaming, like medical centers, hospitals. We will propose this solution. So this is first part about the faster, how we guarantee the network, the user connected to the network get the best experience, the network, the Wi-Fi access. And the second part is about the safer. So when the device is connected to the network, we have to guarantee the connected user in the safety network. So let's see how Sundry can guarantee the network, the safety of the security about the network. So Sundry offers end-to-end security solution. The first one is that all the encryption, connection, transmission is encrypted between the access point and the controller. So cannot be decrypted by the hackers. And the second is that we can do access control policies. For example, there is some virus website in the database, so we can block the users from this kind of website. And the third one is the basic firewall features like the anti-DDoS attack or DSCP flooding attack, garbage spoofing attack. This kind of basic protections in the controllers. We already building the controller, and also we can isolate the devices where client connected to the network. For example, there was hacker, they hack into the network with maybe open access or open portal access, because maybe for because for the public Wi-Fi, normally everyone can access, so the hackers can easily connect it to the network via the portal or free authentication. But what we do is that we can isolate the user connected to the same network. Even the hackers, they connected to the network, we can isolate each other in the network. So even they hacked in, they cannot get any information from the devices connected. So this is Sundary's end-to-end security solution. The second is that we have the diversified authentication method. So for the security sensitivity scenarios, we can use the MAC address based authentication. So we can put the device MAC address into the whitelist, and we only allow these devices connections. And also for the second type is that the CA authentication, the building the controller, we already have the certificate authority. So the client have to authenticate via the certificate we offered. So this is two authentication method for the security sensitivity scenario. The second is that the staff access is that for normal staff access, we normally use the PSK, and also we have the portal authentication. So for the portal, we can easily customize the portal page, like change the background or change the logo in the portal page. Also, we have a local database that can offer more than 6,000 users for authentication. So it's enough for most kind of scenarios. So if the customer, they want to integrate with third-party authentication or LDAP server, AD server, or radio server, we can also do that. The guest authentication, normally we think about is the convenience authentication for the guest. So the first type we have QR code authentication. So the QR code authentication, we have two types of QR code authentication. The first type is the user will connect to the Wi-Fi, and we will print out the QR code in advance. So when the guest coming, it connect to the Wi-Fi and turn on the QR code scanner, and then scan this QR code will be get authenticated. And the second type is kind of a scan to approve. It will be used in the offices or the receptionist. So when the guests come in, they connect to the Wi-Fi on their smartphone. They will pop out with a QR code, and then they go to the receptionist, and the receptionist will scan this QR code with his own device. So then these guests will be authenticated. So it's kind of scan and authorized to approve authentication. So it will be more secure in the so not everyone can connect to the guest Wi-Fi. It's kind of scan to approve. So second time is about second authentication is using WeChat. So WeChat is most popular. I am here in China. Also, they are spreading all over the world. So for WeChat, we can send message or mark directly to the device, to the client's device. So also it's very easy tool for Wi-Fi authentication. You just need to click the button to connect to the Wi-Fi. And even for the Android device, you don't need to manually connect to the SSID. It will automatically help to connect with SSID. So this is for WeChat authentication. Apart from WeChat, we have the Facebook authentication. So the Facebook, we can put the customer's like page during the authentication. So after the authentication, the customer can see the device can see the like page, and they can like the like the Facebook page. So in this way, we can help the customer to improve their to promote their Facebook like page. And the fourth one is the Apple authentication. The Apple authentication is like if the customer they have their own app. For example, the customer we delivered is the China Merchants Bank. They have their own app because it's a bank. They have some investment plans or deposit plans. So they want to promote this app to their customers. So when the guests they want to access to the Wi-Fi, the first step is that they have to download this app and then log into this Wi-Fi to apply for Wi-Fi access. So this is how we help to promote this app. We have the statistics that for every day we have to improve more than 10,000 new subscribers for this new app. So you can see how much budget we can save for the customers using the app authentication. So last one is the SMS authentication. For SMS, we support to integrate with third-party SMS gateway service providers. You can find it in your local market, but you have to remember this service have to be HTTP based. So for now, we cannot support HTTPS. So if the customer the project HTTPS based SMS authentication is a must. We can also support to customize. And apart from the SMS gateway service, Sundray offers one SMS modem. So the modem can only be Sundray modem. So Sundray controller can only work with Sundray modem. So this is two types for SMS authentication. The intelligent terminal identification is that we can automatically identify the terminal types like the laptops, like the Android device or the iOS device. So we can, based on these device types, to set up the access control policies. Like we only allow the mobile devices like the Android devices or Apple devices. We do not allow the laptops access. Maybe most of the hackers they were hacking with the laptops, so we can block the laptops from access to the network. And the second feature here is the feature is building application database. So building the controller, we have an application and also a URL database. So based on this database, we can do granularly access control for the users, for their clients. For example, in their office, we can improve the productivity. Like we can set the policy in the working hours. We can block the user from the entertainment or the news websites. This kind of non-working, irrelevant resources to improve their work productivity. The second is that we can avoid risks, because in the database we have a category about illegal websites or virus websites already detected, so we can keep the user away from these resources. And we can, based on the applications, to set up the bandwidth policy, like P2P download or the online video like YouTube, or we can set up the maximum bandwidth for these kind of applications. And the next one is a security guarantee. So we can detect the ROG AP and also do the containment. The user cannot connect to the root ROG SSID. So this is the building application database. Next one is the VPN remote access. So building the controller, we already have the IPsec VPN, standard IPsec VPN for connecting to Sundray device or Sundray to third-party VPN device. So this is for connecting to the Normally we're connected with third party using the standard IPsec VPN. But also we have the Sundray, also Sun4 having the same protocol, connecting to Sundray devices or Sundray to Sun4 devices, because Sun4 is our mass company. We share the same protocol. So this is only for connecting Sundray to Sundray or Sundray to Sun4 devices using the Sun4 VPN. And also there's scenarios of customers like the chain stores. Maybe in the one of the store there was only one AP is enough for the coverage, but there also have the requirement for the VPN access. For example, the billings, the billing application, they have to report the sales revenue every day. In the past, we can deploy one VPN box here in the branch to connect into the controller, but I think that is not the cost-effective solution, because there is only one AP here. There is not too much network traffic. One VPN box I think it's not cheap. So what Sundry offers a solution is what we call the AP VPN. So the AP and the controller in the HQ side, we can build up a VPN similar with a VPN tunnel. So the traffic, we can set the specify the destination, like the server subnet will go back to the headquarters, but the internet access like video browse or the internet browse will go directly to the internet. No need to be tunneled back. So this is what we call the AP VPN. And also this AP VPN is what we say that is used for the customers like the chain store. They have a small branch, so they don't have a large network there. So we can use AP to deploy to achieve this VPN tunnel. I think this is the solution the customer will like, because they don't need to add other devices, other investment to achieve these VPN features. So this is the VPN Sundry can offer. And also in the controller, we can audit the user access logs. For example, the web browsing, the file upload, and the instant message chats, and email send, receive, and BBS posting. So you can see from this is the capture from our demo devices. We can log the MAC address, IP address, app category, applications. So what is actually the action is allow or deny or will be locked. So this is for because in some of the areas of countries, just like China, we have the government law that we have when we deploy the Wi-Fi in public area. So we have to log every user's access log into the storage servers for traceback if there is any incident happens. So so we have to store these logs for around a half year to 1 year for traceback. If there is any incident, the government have to look up the logs into the servers. So this is audit user access logs. So this is one features that we can propose to the customer to guarantee their. For example, if there is one public Wi-Fi deployed, there is someone post some messages, some anti-government messages. So the government find is from this network, from this IP. So they can know who it's not from our internal group. It's from outside, and we can find who did that and when he posted this. So this is for also protecting our customers. So this is the first two part is about fast and safe. Guarantee the network. Do you have any question about this part?
Yes, regarding that VPN remote access, could you explain once again? Still I'm not clear on the part.
Sorry, about VPN what?
VPN remote access, this one.
Yes.
So So for example, customer has two sites, example, two different places. So in that case, we need only one main regional controller to control both sides, is it?
You mean the branch side and the headquarters side, right?
Yeah.
So the VPN. So we have three types. The first type is if the branch side they have the VPN devices, like if even Sundry or other vendors VPN device, we can build a VPN use standard IPsec VPN, or if the both side are Sundry devices, we can build up the Sundry VPN. So this is using controller to controller or controller to third-party devices, building up the VPN tunnel. But here the third one is AP VPN. So if there is only one AP, there is only one AP here in the branch side, one controller here in the headquarters side. So because our AP, our SSID, we have two mode. One is tunnel mode, one is bridge mode. So the AP and the controller can build up with date tunnel. And then, for example, there is a server here. They have a subnet like 192, blah blah blah. So there is the internet subnet, server subnet. So we can specify into this AP, put the configuration into the AP. If the device want to access this subnet in the headquarters site, will be tunnel. Will go through this tunnel. Will go through this tunnel. But other traffic like internet, like web browsing, video browsing, will just go directly to the internet. No need to tunnel back. So this is how we achieve this AP VPN feature.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So there any other questions about this part? Okay, so we continue to the main part is more manageable. So for manageable is for the customers, maintainers of the network, and operation of the network. So the first one is integrate of wired wireless network management. So we already know you can do the wireless management for the wireless devices like the laptops, access control, bandwidth management, and also the authentication for the wireless devices. So if the customer they want to do the same thing, access control, bandwidth management, and also the authentication for the wireless devices, we can also use Sundry controller to achieve that. But we have to make sure the traffic goes through the controllers. But this feature we need a license to achieve this wired management, wired device management. We need the license. And the next feature is the captive portal server. So Sundry can serve as a captive portal server. We offer the portal service for other vendors. So we already supported vendors like Aruba, Ruckus, Cisco, Huawei. This is main player in the market. We already support their controller to integrate with Sundry for the authentication. For example, Aruba, they don't support the QR code authentication, so Sundry can offer the QR code authentication through the portal service. So their device can do the WeChat or QR code authentication in Sundry's controllers. So this is more manageable, more unified. This is normally used in the scenarios like first one, as I said, if the customer they have already built up their Wi-Fi network using another brand, but they don't support some of the features like some authentication method. So Sundray can serve as a captive portal server, offering the authentication service to their controller. And the second is that if the customer they have built their Wi-Fi network, but they want to achieve the unified authentication, unified management. So if they want to expand their network, if they choose the same brand, it's okay. But if they choose two different brands, if they already build with Aruba controller, but they extend with Ruckus, so it's totally two separate network. So if they choose Sundray, Sundray can offer as a unified authentication server, so all the clients can authenticate via Sundray controller. So this is two scenario we can propose this captive portal server feature. And the third one is the the controller cluster management. So this is also we say the centralized management. So the central controller can manage all the access points in the one interface. So for example, there was a lot of branches. In each branch there is a branch controller. So we can manage all the branch controller, branch APs through this. So the single interface of the central controller, like set up the policy, set up SSID, set up the access control policy, bandwidth control policy. We can set up in the controller in the HQ side, and the configuration would be synchronized to the branch controller. It is the policy is run on the branch controller, but the setup is in the central controller. So it will be more convenient for the IT administrators. They don't need to log into every controller to set up the policy. And when the customer they want to extend their network, so it will be very easy. They just need to join the centralized management. So this is the central controller in the HQ side, and the new branch side, you just join the centralized management. And all the policies, the setups will be synchronized to the branch controller. So it's very easy for extend the new site. And because we support the big data analyze and the marketing features, so we can see all the data in the centralized controller. It will be summarized in the central controller. You do not need to log into every separate controller to check out the statistics. The next feature is about the remote management. So what we say here is the big branches we can deploy the controllers. So through in the HQ side, the headquarters, we can deploy controllers, and then we can do the port mapping to the LAN controller, and through the internet we can manage the branch side access point. So this is for the small branches. We can remote manage the branch AP. So this is remote management. And the controller management that we have the refined management account. So for example, there is super admin, and there is some normal admin account. So we can set up the super admin can manage or set up the network, but the normal for example normal manager, they can set up the SSID, but they cannot set up the wired network like the IP address, route, this kind of basic network policy they cannot set up. And also because we support marketing features, we have a separate marketing account that can only access marketing center page. So this is also a management for easy management for the marketing policies, because the marketing guys normally use marketing policy, or the marketing page is normally used by the marketing department. They have less knowledge about the network configurations. Maybe they misconfigure something, lead to a network disaster. So this is why we separate the marketing setup policy. And also we have separate the guest management account. So in the past, when there was guest coming, we have to apply, the reception or the department have to apply for the IT administrators. They have to set up the guest account, then distribute to the receptionist. So what we do is that we separate the guest account management page. That we have a special account that can log into this management interface. So this account can only see the guest account related interface, management interface. So the captive portal feature. So this one, this feature is that Sundry offers as a third part, just like the third party captive portal server. For example, the Aruba, they don't support WeChat authentication, so they can find a third party like the Purple or the Skyfi, this kind of third party locking, social locking portal service, so they can integrate with the third party captive portal servers. So Sundry is serving at the similar services. So they can integrate with Sundry through the standard protocol of Sundry offering the authentication like WeChat, Facebook, or QR code, or this kind of authentication to their to our competitors, to the other Wi-Fi vendors. So it's not for managing the other vendors' access point or controllers. This is only for authentication. Just imagine, or just think Sundry is a third-party captive portal server. So it's not for managing the access point, the other vendors' access point or controllers. Okay. So we continue with the marketing page. So this is the marketing page we see from the controller. There is on this marketing page can only see the marketing related configurations like marketing, the messages, or the delivery policies. And also we have the AP visualized management. So after we deploy the access point, we can drag the AP into the flow plan, upload the flow plan, and we can drag the AP here into this flow plan. It will display the running status of the AP. So if the AP is in blue color, so it means that the AP is online. If the AP goes to gray, it means that the AP is offline. And also we can quickly identify which AP have the problem, and we can go right to check the AP status. So this is AP visualized management. And the fourth main part is about the most advanced feature Sundry offers, more value added features. So first one is the marketing of advertisement page, how we can push advertisement. So first one is a landing page. We can put the advertisement 5 slides into this page, and also we can set how much time the user have to stay on this page to see this advertisement. And second is that we can send via WeChat. Third one is the full screen advertisement. If the user is accessing browsing in the browser, it will be redirected to this page. And the fourth one is the small banner. So you can see here there is a small banner here. And the last one is the SMS. And apart from these 5 ways to push the advertisement, as we introduced, we can use the S500 broadcast, the BC, and we can broadcast the audio message via the speaker. So this is how we can push the advertisement. And second is that push based on application. So for example, if the customer, they have for example, the WeChat, they want to spray to overseas market. If our controller detecting the user is using WhatsApp, Skype, or Line, so we will deliver the message using the previous way in this slide, that there was an interesting instant message application called WeChat is coming. So we can identify what the application user is using, so to send a corresponding advertisement. Also, like in the shopping mall, if the client is using online shopping application or online shopping websites, we can push this advertisement to the users. So this is pushed based on application. And second, the third one is that we can do the user data mining. So if the user is accessing via the authenticate by Facebook, so we can collect the user information like user ID, username, and also the client MAC address, email address. So the gender information, age range, and time period, how time the user accessed. So the most important is the email address. So we can send a message to the user via the email address where the information we collected. And the dynamic heat map is that we can know which area is the hot area. For example, in the shopping mall, we can know, for example, this deep color area, there was more people coming to this area, but the light color areas, there's less people going. So we can change the boost, the display, how we display the boost to lead the customer to go to this area. And also we can display by every 10 minutes in this page. And also if in the 7 days in every 1 hour, and more than 10 days in every 1 day. So this is a dynamic heat map. So building the controller, we have an exit analyze system, so we can know more about the people. For example, the shopping mall, we can know totally how many users coming here. So how many people are the new guests, and some are the new kind means that the user authenticate by SMS and WeChat, because SMS and WeChat we can send a message to the clients through the controller. And the passers-by means that the people stay here, just walk through their shops, did not stay for a longer time. So we will recognize people as passers-by, including the devices with Wi-Fi turned on, but they don't connect to the Wi-Fi. And also the repeat guest ratio, how many repeats guests coming, and based on the statistics, we can generate the trend line here. And how much time the user have been stay here. For example, the green line here means that people stay here less than 10 minutes. So if the green line is very high here, it means that the shopping mall, most of the people stay here more than less than 10 minutes. They just come and go. They don't shopping more. They don't spend much of time shopping here. So maybe the operators have to think about to run some activities to attract their customers to stay longer for shopping. And this feature here, we call this the user profiling. So we can, based on the total network, to show the top day, the top hour, and application classifications. So we can know in this week which day is the peak day. Most people coming in Wednesday here. So and during the day, which period most people are coming, and the terminal type and the access time count. It means that, for example, here less than 3 times, more than 200 people coming less than 3 times, and more than 150 people coming more than 20 times. And the stay duration, and the most important is the tag. So here the tag means that the tag refers to the applications or the URL categories in the background. So you can see here 27% goes to traffic goes to the online shopping. So maybe the operators, they have to think about to promote their products to more on the online shopping websites, or send more to do more advertisement for the online promotion ways. So this is based on the total network. And also we can analyze for the single user. So we can, based on the single user, to analyze, for example, the tags, the application access, we can analyze for every user, and how much time the user have been stayed, and which day the user coming for most. And here we can also, there is active time access. So this feature is that we can recall how the user is working in this area. For example, we can track by the AP area, like goes to office A, maybe the women clothes area, then goes to men clothes area. So we can also log how much time the user having stay here, and also we can based on user group. For example, the first floor is for women clothes, second floor is for men clothes, and the sub floor is maybe for food. So we can know what the user is spend most time in this floor, in this building. So this is a client walk route. And also building the controller, because we can audit what the user have been accessed, like the website, what application the user have been accessed. So based on the statistics, the access logs, we can generate diversified report based on the statistics, the logs we get, like the application traffic ranking. So the instant message have the most traffic, and the mobile, also the website visiting have the most traffic, and also the URL category, like the most of traffic goes to, because this is the demo devices in our office, the most of traffic goes to the IT related and the software download. So this is URL category. And user ranking by application. So because this is my demo device, so we access most of the traffic. For every single user we can analyze, most traffic goes to SSO. There is some encrypted traffic, and there's QQ here, and also Skype here. So this is the user the traffic ranking by every user. So this is the main features we is a software analyze tool like Skype. So this feature is already building our controller. It's not the software analyzer. But this feature we need the audit license and application license to get this report. So this is the report page. I think we can show you by the demo here. So this is the controller management interface, and here you can see there is application. We have this cloud service. You can ignore this one because now this is for the apps. The apps are running on mobile devices to manage the controller, like the alarms, the create a user account. So, but this one is not available for overseas market, so you can ignore this one first. And second one is the marketing center, is the marketing policies we just introduced, and and next is the report center. We just see here. We just introduced about the reports. Maybe some. So this is report center here. So we just need to enable the audit features for the audit policy uh, for the users. So we will, because there this device there is no traffic here, so there is no statistics. So this is the dashboard, and in the logs we have the all activities, the file upload, email incoming, outgoing, search term searches. This is for the search engines, not encrypted search engines. We can get the search keywords, and the web browsing, and IM chart, posting, microblogging, and the traffic statistic like application traffic ranking, URL traffic ranking, application bandwidth distribution, channel bandwidth distribution, URL category bandwidth distribution. So this kind of traffic, and all the activities can generate the report. And the reports we can send to the administrators using by email. Yes, this is a real time. This is a real time. But what we need to do is that we have to set up the audit policy here. There is one audit policy. In the previous firmware, I think some patents they using the old firmware. In the previous firmware, we don't support this audit feature. But in the new firmware here, we have the audit feature here. So this is what we can audit, like HTTP contents, BBS posting, outgoing email, and the URL category. So based on the database, we can do the audit log and the applications also. Also the flow, the traffic, quote, or online duration, we can also audit. So this is the report center. But this we need a license here. So for the license, by the way, license for now we have 5 types of license. The first one is AP management license. So this is for to manage all the access point. And second is that for the marketing license. So this is also AP based. But the AP management we have to decrease to minus the free AP license. And the third one is the wired management license. We just introduced the wired management, wired authentication, access control, bandwidth management for wired devices. We need a license. And the next one is the application license. So and identify the application or block the application, we need the application license. But this is annually a subscribed license, because we have the team to operating this application database. Every 2 weeks we will update it, so it's annually licensed. The last one is audit license. So just now you see the report center here. We need the application license and also the audit license. So this is what we need for the audit feature. Report center is this feature not default feature, right? We need to buy. Yes, this report center we need to buy the audit license and also the application license. Okay. And the other license, like the centralized management to manage the branch controllers, this feature in the domestic market, in Chinese market, we charge for that. And also the VPN feature. The VPN feature we introduce is we charge for that. But for overseas market, it's for free. VPN centralized management. And for the heat map we need to buy all the marketing related features or the reports. We need to buy the marketing license here. Sorry. Because this controller is deployed in Hong Kong, it's a little bit slow to accessing from China mainland here. So the marketing features like the heat map here, the heat map, the access state analyze, the search analyze, the message delivery. All these features, including in this controller, we need the marketing license. The marketing license is based on the amount of EP. So this is about the marketing license. Okay, do you have any other questions about the features? Okay, so we continue with the Sundary's advantages. So because Sundray coming to this market a little bit later comparing to our competitors, so they have already a lot of Wi-Fi players in this market. But once Sundray start the Wi-Fi business, we choose a different way from our competitors. So maybe our competitors like Cisco or Aruba Rackers, they focus more on the coverage, the connectivities, network connectivities. But what Sundray do is that we choose another different way. We focus more on the application layer. So that's why Sundray growing this fast. And this is not because we have. This is because we have the more value-added features. So comparing to our competitors in different perspective, first one is we have the most complete authentication method, like the QR code authentication, app authentication, WeChat, Facebook, the CA authentication. Some of our competitors, they need to integrate with third-party application, third-party platform to achieve the advanced authentication. And the second is access control. We have the building application and URL database, so we can do granular access control for the devices or the users. And some of the competitors, they need to cooperate with other DPI devices. And the most advanced feature here is a marketing feature. We have the building diversified marketing feature. We can push advertisement and do the big data analyze and send advertisement to the users. So also we can do the data mining. So this is the most advanced features compared to our competitors. So they have to integrate with like Skyfi, this kind of third-party platform to achieve these features. And the data collection, so we can collect the user information like using Facebook or the WeChat authentication. We can get WeChat ID, Facebook, we can get the user mail address. And the user profiling, we can know what the user like. And the audit feature, we can log all the user access traffic, like what the top application, top URL category, so we can know what the user like. So this is what we can do based on the data we can collect. So all these advanced features we have been introduced, have been building with the controller, have been already integrated with, in the controller. So the customer do not need to buy a third-party platform, a third-party device to achieve all these advanced features. So Sundray is a lower TCO solution with less device, lower cost, compared to our competitors. So this is all about Sundray solution, about our products, and our advantages. So so next is about the Q&A. I think you have any questions, you can raise your question now.